Well, here we go, Facebook. Look at her. Look how she swallows. We have Rachel Rothenberg. Look at her. She's gorgeous. She has smart comedy. I just watched a 5-minute clip and I laughed so hard. Oh my God. Rachel Rothenberg, talk to us. Hi.
Hello.
Where are you from? Where do people like you come from? You're so amazing on stage.
So I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm originally from Connecticut. I grew up in the town that Stepford was based on.
Whoa. So what's the name of that town?
Wilton, Connecticut. You can Google this. If you Google Stepford, like the Stepford Wives, they say that Stepford is Wilton, Connecticut.
I'll be darned. Do Wilton cakes come from there, or Wilton cake decorating?
I don't know. I've always wondered that myself, and anytime I see that name on packaging, I get triggered.
That's cute. So you started in Connecticut as a human. Where were you in your life when you said, you know what, I think I want to take a bullet for other people and get on stage and have people laugh or heckle at me?
It was in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had just come back from canvassing for a political candidate at that time, and I think I'm using the wrong microphone. Sorry, I should plug in a mic.
Okay, take your time.
I decided I had been doing this political canvassing where I'd been going door to door and talking to people, and I decided that I'd been talking about doing stand-up for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I should have done this before.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Does it sound better now?
Much better.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I should have had that from the beginning. Okay, so yeah, I had been doing canvassing, and then I realized two things while I was canvassing. One of them was that the only way to get people to let me into their house to talk to them was to make them laugh. I was pretty good at that. And the other thing was that I realized, I was hanging out with a bunch of leftists, and I realized that none of them had any sense of humor except for me. So I was like, I have to go do this, I guess, because I'm the only person who seems to know how to find humor while having that perspective. I don't know.
Yes.
I think a lot of people with my perspective are not very funny.
Yes. To come from that background and be able to deliver it with a sense of humor says a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
So did you start doing stand-up in Wilton, Connecticut, or did you come to Salt Lake to do that?
No, I had been living in Salt Lake since 2009.
Okay. If you live in Salt Lake and you do comedy in Salt Lake, and that's where you started your comedy, do you have an advantage getting to a dry bar special?
Actually, the guy who books those is my boss.
What?
Yeah, so I work at Wise Guys at the Comedy Club in Salt Lake, also just doing a lowly job as a ticket person.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my boss books dry bar.
What? That's so cool. That's so cool. So do you feel like, I think your comedy's ready for a dry bar special. What do you think?
Oh man, I think that shows a lack of understanding of what dry bar is looking for.
Really? Oh, you probably hear from the inside scoop of all the dumb things people think that they can send in.
No, I don't mean it like that. I just mean that their focus is on clean comedy, and their focus is on stuff that people can watch with their kids in the room, and I have not mastered that type of comedy yet.
Got it. So you sent me a link to watch your clean comedy, and you said that you all...
It was not clean.
There's so many levels of clean, It's like you have to almost qualify people. Like if they want clean comedy, what are you talking about? No poop jokes, no masturbation jokes,
Yeah, I have that conversation a lot because I interact with the owner of Wise Guys a lot, just getting on shows and stuff there. And I have been put on shows in which I was supposed to be clean. The one that I I sent you was not clean. It was just cleaner.
Yes, okay.
But I have done clean sets, and I was allowed to talk about poop, and I was allowed to talk about weed.
Wow. Holy Toledo. So what's the funniest thing that you've ever experienced when you're doing comedy that came out of your mouth accidentally, or a heckler and how you handled her or him? Usually it's a woman.
The funniest thing, I guess, when something that happens to me, like, it's happened like a few times, like a lot, is I always get heckled in the same way, which is people instead of laughing, they say, "That was funny," or say like, "Oh, I got it," or like, but they'll say it like really loudly to the point that it feels like I'm being heckled, and I'll just be like, "Thank you," and then usually what I do in that situation is I try to like turn it back and be like, "This is what I want everybody to do instead of laughing."
That's
But
funny.
yeah, mostly I just get very complimentary heckles. I don't know, it's confusing.
That's so cute. That's adorable. I think that when, like, I think there is a premonition out there. I think there's a consensus out there that people don't think women are as funny as men. And when you're funny, I think you shock them because you're smart, you're beautiful, you're funny, and smart, funny. The funny is smart, not just you. And when they get it, it's almost like, oh, I'm fun. I'm smart. I got that. And maybe they're having a eureka. Oh, I'm smart enough to keep up with her. I didn't know I was that smart. Because like I laughed really loud at your comedy. I usually chuckle or, but your stuff brought deep laughs out of me.
That's good. I'm glad.
And people are probably like, I didn't know I had it in me to laugh that hard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I'm aiming for screams.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I would love for people to roll over off their chair onto the floor, but I don't see that happening like for a while. Like,
Yeah, it definitely takes time.
yeah. So when you first started comedy, can you tell me the first experience you had with that? It's like losing your something else. It's like losing your fear. It's like, we get it.
Yeah. I would say it was similar to losing something else. It was a mess. It was just like, I don't know. I probably was drinking, which I no longer do before doing stand up, certainly. I probably was, what I will say is I like blacked out from anxiety. Even if I didn't have any alcohol, I would full on black out from anxiety anytime I went on stage for like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. How's that anxiety now?
It's better. I definitely still get nervous, and I'm unpleasant to be around before I do a show. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm usually pacing around, like being grumpy, and like but I also have tried to reframe it in my mind. Like, everybody's read those things that say, like, if you tell yourself that you're excited instead of scared, then maybe you will believe that. And so I try to like tell myself, you're not nervous, you're excited. Like, it's like the roller coaster feeling. You're like, I'm gonna do something that's probably gonna be horrible, but I'm doing it for fun. Like, you have to remind yourself.
So I missed over one question. What made you decide to do comedy?
I don't know. I just like failed at every other thing I had tried, and that was something that I tried and I didn't fail at.
Yes. Boy, can I relate to that.
Yeah.
Were you always like the class clown or getting laughs out of people? Never? Really?
No way. No.
So
Definitely not.
when you develop your material, do you develop it from the left side of your brain and add the right side later? Or do you Because you're so smart that I would think that you would develop the nuts and bolts and add the funny.
I think it's more like I view it as like a puzzle. Like I think of it, I put it together, and then eventually it just like snaps together, and I feel like it's the left and the right side, but like it's more just like a moment in which like I know what funny is. So like if I think of something that's funny, then I'm like, oh, that's funny, and then it just already is. I don't know, like I don't have like a process where I add funny to something because I'm not good at doing that. I try to do that, like I try to tell stories and stuff and like write like punch them up and like make them funnier, and like so far I'm not good enough to do it. Like I just like don't know how to do that.
Yes.
So I don't know like which side of the brain. I mean, I would say probably the way that you mean it, I probably left side, just because it's like an analytical process where I'm like sorting through words and deciding what words are funny. But also it's a gut feeling of knowing that something is.
Yes, got it. So working in a comedy venue and around other funny people in your life, has that helped you to have a faster trajectory at getting funny?
I would say yes. But I would say mostly because of the fact that I have like the connections because I work there to get on shows.
Yes.
Which gets me the spots that make me be funnier. Like since I started working there, I've definitely gotten a lot better, but I don't think it's from like being around comedians. I think it's just from like getting opportunities.
Absolutely. So what do you have as a goal in your comedy, like within the next year? Should we get out of our houses?
Well, yeah, that's hard to say because I don't really believe that we will. But, I mean, I want to move out of Salt Lake for sure. That was a goal within this year, but now it's not looking very good. Move to a city where I can do more of it and stuff, you know, keep producing shows. Like I'm doing a show this week online, my first online show, but before that I was producing shows. One show at Wise Guys, and it was going to be its 5th edition yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's an all-female comedy show.
Nice.
It was a really good show, and I hope it comes back.
Did it have a certain kind of premise to the show, or just all women?
So the name of the club is Wise Guys, right? So the show was called Dumb Broads, one word.
Wow.
And the tagline for the show was "Only Women Are Funny."
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Way to go. I've watched you put shows on Zoom, and I think there's something, you know, close to genius about what you're doing, and I don't have it broken down, but I think you're super smart as far as a producer and like promoter, and people have acclaimed how well you put together the shows and keep everybody on their toes, and everybody knows what they're doing and when, and you put on a great product on your Zoom shows. So do you have a certain time of day when those appear so people can watch them?
Yeah. So you do have to be in the Facebook group to see them. I keep it that way because it's an open mic. People are testing stuff. People are taking risks. People are going to say wrong things. But you have to join the group. It's now named the Pandemic.
Yes.
It used to be named the Social Distancing Online Comedy Open Mic, but that's a mouthful, and now it has a good name. So now it's called the Pandemic.
Yes.
And we do a mic on Sundays at 2 p.m. Mountain Time, and a show on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time.
Wednesday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, Sunday, 2 p.m., and it's called, on Facebook, it's a private group called the Pandemic.
Yes.
1 M in the middle.
Yes.
Awesome. So you're thinking of moving out of Salt Lake. When that's when you're able. And do you have a destination city in mind? Because I can see you fitting in anywhere. I can see you fitting in especially New York and Vegas and LA. I mean, where couldn't you fit in? You're so marketable.
I never thought of myself that way, but so we're kind of between Austin and LA, and that's sort of what's being discussed. I mean, if it's like, if I can't do stand up as much in Austin, then I guess it's LA.
Nice. I can't wait to see you connect with your new home and get going. You know, that'll be so exciting. So,
yeah, hopefully that happens
yeah.
sometime. I just don't know what's going on with the world, you know? It's like I can't make any concrete plan right now.
I know. Well, let's go to a side topic that I don't get the opportunity to bring up because I talk to people who don't have Jewish sounding names. So I'm part Jewish. You know,
Yes.
My dad was Jewish, so I'm not really Jewish. But he went through the Holocaust, so that makes me 5,000% Jewish. So I get a pass and I get a trophy, participation trophy, even though I never participated. Anyway, I assume from your last name that you are.
I am, yes.
That's awesome. I love listening to ladies of comedy who are Jewish. I grew up in the era of the great Jewish comics. So my question to you is, because us Jewish little girls used to watch comedy, I assume, and watch people of our same faith do comedy. So who did you look up to that was a Jewish comic?
It's gotta be the sickest sicko who's ever lived, Sarah Silver.
I love her comedy. I love her.
Yeah, like when I saw her, I saw her when I was like, I saw her show when I was like probably 17, and I was like, I didn't realize that women could be like this disgusting and this smart and this funny and like all of these things together and do that, and like I was like, I get it. That's me. I don't know.
I can so see that. I can see the connection that you would have to her comedy.
Yeah, I'm always like trying to like defend the time she did blackface, but you know, you kind of have to watch the episode.
Yeah. So, when I grew up, we had the old school ones that came out of the Poconos and the Adirondacks and all them places, But I was in a casino in Vegas in the 90s, and I was watching a those TV VCR combos that they used to have, little square thing, like a toaster. And I was watching David Brenner do his stand-up to decide if I wanted to invest the money to go see him. And it was so interesting. I watched it 7 times in a row, over and over at the VIP desk there at the Golden Nugget. And then somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, "How do you like that guy on the screen?" And it was David Brenner asking me how I liked his comedy while I'm watching his comedy. That was super dope for me because, of all the great Jewish comics, he was like the last of them, I feel, of the greats.
I'm not familiar with him. I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, he's been on he was on Johnny Carson like more times than anybody else.
I'm going to write this down.
Yeah, David Brenner.
David Brenner.
And he used to let me write to him on MySpace. And I would send him joke ideas before I did. I'm thinking of doing comedy. I'd send him something. He'd go, "Well, there's no punchline." Can you imagine how embarrassing? Now we look back, and what's the funniest thing you've looked back at and said, "Why did I do that? Why did I say that?"
Well, something that comes to mind just with the thing you just talked about is Sarah Silverman did. This is like meaningless, and nobody's ever gonna remember this but me. But like she did an AMA on Reddit, and I just wanted to talk to her, so I asked her if her hair was naturally curly because I just wanted to know like if we had the same hair, and that was all I could think of to ask her, and she just responded like no, and she answered me. So she was there on the other end.
Wow.
And that was all I got to ask her, and that was stupid, and I wish I had said something cool.
Oh my gosh. I did something really dumb on the streets of Portland, Oregon, where I'm from. I saw Alonzo Bowden walking down the street in my hometown. And I think I own my town, you know. I'm so at home. And I said, oh my God, you know, I said, I have a joke you can have. Like, oh my God. And then I said, are you going to be writing? He says, I have to go write some jokes for tonight. And I go, do you want any help? I was like 2 years into comedy.
I wish I had not told. I told somebody, another Jewess, Rachel Feinstein, whom I opened, and from whom I think I might have caught the coronavirus, but that's a different story.
Oh my God.
That's some hot goss. But I told her a story about how I had told a joke involving Hitler, and then I went outside after the show, and some lady came up to me and she was like, I like telling Hitler jokes too. I do a Nazi salute every time a fax comes out of the machine at my work or something like that. And I was like, that's not the same thing. Like, what are you talking about? But then I told this to Rachel Feinstein, and she was like, oh good, my fans are all Nazis. And I was like, I shouldn't have brought this up.
That's ridiculous. I told a joke about, you know, I had this opening line when anybody who is Jewish did a mic or show, and I'd go up on stage, I'd say, finally, one of us Jews are in charge of a list, right? I just wanted to do it so bad. But one time I forgot to say one of us Jews. I just said, finally, a Jew in charge of a list. And nobody got the reference, so they didn't laugh. They're like, what the hell is she saying that for?
That's funny. Yeah, people, like, if you're making jokes, they need to, sometimes they need to know you're Jewish.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes that's an important detail. And that was the thing that the lady didn't get. I had to be like, did you miss the part where I was Jewish? Like, did you miss the part where, like, I had it was okay for me to tell this joke, and it's different for you to tell this joke, and your joke isn't even funny, and your joke is a Hitler salute? Like,
oh, God.
That's not the same. Like, my joke is about disrespecting Hitler, not about doing his thing that he did. Like,
makes no sense. One time, my first month in comedy, Rachel, I was at this club watching an open mic. No, it was before I got on stage ever. And I was at a show. Yeah, a show. I'll get the details sooner or later. And there was a comic that came up, and he was bombing so badly that he was using his inside voice into the microphone about his lack of self-esteem. And he was like, God, here I go again, sucking. I should just kill myself. And it was getting really dark, you know, and you could hear a pin drop. So in that moment when you could hear a pin drop, I just yelled out, just make fun of us Jews. And the place busted up laughing. And then he switched to making fun of Jews. And I had given him permission, and it totally turned around his set, and he had funny stuff to say, making fun of Jews. It wasn't mean, and I thought, I need to do comedy.
Wow. Whenever you're bombing, just try talking about the Jews.
Even if you're not Jewish, just do it. Get somebody in the audience to say, make fun of us Jews. Get an Irish person. It doesn't matter. No one will know. Do you know?
Maybe.
So I wasn't really raised in the faith. My parents went through the Holocaust. So do you have a Holocaust connection in your life?
Only that I am so interested in all the documentaries. No. So this is going to sound cocky.
Say it.
It's weird to be cocky about the Holocaust, but my ancestors actually were hanging out in like Romania and Russia and that area
Wow.
around 1900. and they were having pogroms, which are also anti-Semitic violence.
Wow.
Not the Holocaust, but people were coming and knocking their houses over and murdering people. So
Yes.
they actually were like, hey, this anti-Semitism thing is pretty bad. Maybe we should get out of Europe. So they moved to the U.S. around 1900.
Yes. And so that's really awesome. My family wasn't that smart. They waited until it was too late. My grandma wrote to every country in the world to get out, and they all turned her away because she was doing it at the last minute. So, yeah. So
Well, nobody deserved, even bad planners did not deserve the Holocaust.
that's right. I won't even get in a Volkswagen or an Uber.
Nice. Yeah, I do still have, like, I was, even in the, being born in the 90s, like, I still was given that sort of discomfort with, like, buying German products.
Yes.
Which is weird, because, like, you would think I wouldn't feel that way. But, like, I don't like going to, like, a German, like, beer bar. I'm like, I shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Yeah. I went in the army, and they put me in a city in Germany, and I called my dad and I said, well, I'm here. And he didn't want me to go in the army. And then I called him from Germany to say, I'm here. He goes, well, they don't tell you where you're going to go till you get there. So I called him and I said, I'm in Hanau, Germany. And he says, that's where my mother was born. So then the news found out about it. Some Yahoo told them, and they did an article on me in German. I still don't know what they said about me. But yeah, they compared me to a Molly pitcher, and I still get it confused with baseball. I don't know what the hell they were talking about. I don't care. So you've been, you're a young gal, and you've moved from Connecticut to Salt Lake City, and you work at a comedy club. And so have you had other types of jobs in your life besides comedy clubs?
Yeah, I've tried. And even that, I'm underemployed. I need more work. So if anybody is hiring something you can do from home during the pandemic, I am looking for a job.
I need somebody monthly to help to take all my stinking interviews that I do daily and put them on YouTube and get them on iTunes and Spotify.
Somebody, I don't mean to be crass, but is this a paid job?
Yes, I would pay you. I'm looking for somebody who is or isn't a comic, who won't be, jealous, and will do it the right way and help promote me and get them on. I will pay you. Absolutely. We'll talk about the money that you want. I don't want to sit there and have to babysit somebody that's going to do it because they have ADHD. I want somebody reliable like you.
Well, shit. We should discuss this.
Let's do that.
Sounds perfect.
Because I just want to stay home and crank out interviews until the second wave goes over.
Yeah, man. That would be amazing. Let's definitely.
Absolutely. I need you. So we can talk money.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. And I'll let the word out that you're looking for other stuff. You can let me know whatever else you do, and I'll, yeah. So where on social media do you want people to help you with your numbers and follow you?
So I'm on, you can like my Facebook comedy page, which I made. It has like 90 likes now or something.
What? What's it called?
Just Rachel Rothenberg.
Okay, that's your Facebook comedy fan page?
It's not a fan page. It's an informative space.
Okay. But it's one that you click like to rather than a friend.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And that's not super interesting except insofar as I post events on there. Like I posted an event on there today for my show on Friday. And I'm on Instagram. On Instagram, I post a weird mix of things. I post clothes and stand-up stuff and pictures of my pet bugs.
Pet bugs.
Yeah.
Gotta go look at that. And this is on Instagram.
of.
The comedic stylings of, with underscores in between.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay.
And then I'm on Twitter.
Uh-huh.
And on Twitter, I'm just one word, comedic stylings.
I love it. So Facebook on your page, Rachel Rothenberg.
I think also you can find it by typing in facebook.com/Rachel Hothenberg.
Hothenberg?
I think that does work.
Okay. So Facebook fan page, Instagram, the comedic stylings of with underscores in between, and Twitter, comedic stylings.
Yes.
And you can also try Facebook with Rachel Hothenberg.
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. So the pandemic has affected you financially. So are you at liberty to give out your Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal for people who might want to donate?
Sure, yeah. My Venmo is Rachel, 2 hyphens, Rothenberg.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Well, golly gee willikers. And that's a Gomer Pyle reference you wouldn't know about. Okay, back to me. No, back to you. So where do you feel that this pandemic, all the crap we've gone through, we never thought we'd have to face in our life, in what way and where in your life do you see it making you a better human?
Well, I'm doing a lot of weird online comedy stuff that I would not have been doing. I'm being forced to innovate and come up with new ways to do things. And also just like, I don't know, I've been a person who kind of lived on the internet for like a long time, so it's not that weird to me to be operating through the internet, but like hopefully I can put some of the stuff I'm doing on my resume.
Yes.
But like also, I mean, I don't know, it's like I feel like it's making me closer to my partner. You know, closer to my cats. We're hanging out all the time. We're getting to know each other really well. You know, I don't know. I think maybe it'll help me overcome my hypochondria eventually if I ever figure that out.
We all have some kind of fears and phobias and anxiety, all of us. If we don't, we're probably narcissistic or sociopathic or both. So what's the biggest lesson in all of your comedy career that you've learned?
The answer to that is actually pretty easy. I would say before I did it, I was incapable of failing without like wanting to die.
Wow.
Whereas now I fail all the time and I fail hard and I bomb and it's okay because I live and I learned how to fail. And like when I first started, if I bombed or even if I like didn't bomb, I would like want to like walk in front of a train. Like I swear to you, like I could not handle it. I was just like sick to death, and I still get frustrated with myself if I don't do as well as I wanted to. But it's not like that.
Yes.
Like, it's not like now I'm like, okay, here's how I have to do better next time. Whereas before it was like my life is over.
Yeah. Wow, that's so cool. So have you been able to reach back and help other people with those kind of feelings?
Kind of, I guess. I don't know.
Because I feel like, you know, we've got a lady here in Vegas named Miss Arkansas, and whenever she sees anybody bombing, she won't let them leave before she puts them back intact. Because she remembers that, you know, and I caught her one time doing this magical turnaround with this young guy. I mean, you could tell he just wanted to go off himself, you know, because he bombed really hard. And before he left, he'd forgotten about it. He had hope. It was,
yeah.
It was really...
I should try to be nicer. I haven't, like, I think I'm just like not very sociable in that context. Like if I'm like anxious about doing stand-up, I'm not thinking about whether or not other people need consoling because I'm too in my own head. But like I should try to step outside myself and try to be helpful.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, I want to thank you for this amazing time of interviewing you. I love you to pieces. And I'm so delighted I got the honor to get to ask you these questions and get to know you. I think you're a future superstar. I watched your video and I see star quality. So I don't say that to everybody, but some people are already stars, you know, and some people, you can see they're stars. So I hope other people are in your life saying the same thing, because I sure see it.
Well, thank you. That's really, really nice. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Oh no, I really feel it. I can't wait to share your video for other people to watch you. So if you ever get to New York, you got to look up Gladys Simon. She's my coach. She's got a room at Comic Strip Live called the Gladys Simon Room. And she'll coach people for coming in and doing a $14 to get in, and includes a drink, and you get her feedback. She's totally like made tons of people who are famous out there. She's made them. So I want her to see your video, and she watches a lot of the stuff I post. So I just think that somebody's going to scarf you up, and I think you're going to blow up big time, Rachel. And plus, you're a great human. Thank you so much for the interview. You're so adorable. Oh my gosh. If I had a time capsule, I'd go back and look like you.
I feel like I just turned 29 like a week ago, and I suddenly have like lines on my forehead and things that I've never had before, and I'm really trying to just tell myself that I need to not worry about things like that, and it doesn't matter. And like,
yeah,
you know, it's the world makes you think you're old.
It does.
And it's garbage.
That's garbage. Yes.
So thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I can't wait. I'll come back on and watch, or get in on one of your shows again sometime. And thank you for doing your Zoom shows, by the way. They're amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
I try really hard.
Yes. You can tell when somebody just throws something together, and you can tell when they put work into it. So thank you so much for bringing quality during this time to a lot of people, so we have a voice.
Can I plug my show?
Yes, please.
So as of today, I just announced it today, I'm doing an online stand-up show, hosting, and that's going to be this Friday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and it's called Sick Joke, and I have 4 comedians on it, all of whom are really, really amazing. They're all really different from each other, and most of them are from Salt Lake, but the one who isn't from Salt Lake is originally from Salt Lake, but they're all like amazing comedians. So please watch it. They'll be really creative, really weird stuff probably. It should be really cool. So please check that out.
Why did you call it Sick Joke?
Because it has a triple meaning.
Yes. Sick.
Because it's like sick, like sickness, you know, like the pandemic, and it's sick like oh, that's a sick joke. You shouldn't tell a joke like that. And also like sick joke, bro.
I can't wait. Friday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's 4 p.m. in California, Nevada?
No, it would be
5. Okay. Got it.
Right? Yeah.
I can go crazy with these time zones. Don't even get me started.
I've never had to deal with time zones so much as I have in the past month.
Thank you.
Time zones are everything.
They are, and they're goofing me up. Some people in New York will, once in a while, they'll get it twisted, and I'll go, well, no, because if it's 8 your time, it's 5 my time. And I'm like, what part of New York are you in? China?
Yeah.
That's a bad answer. Never mind. Don't want to say China right now. Sound racist. Okay, well, thank you so much, Rachel. Love you.
Thank you.
Let's
chat about that other thing.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Thank you for watching, you guys. Bye.